So I'm going to hit you with a little more facts. Then I'm going to bring this to an end. But we are, without a doubt, the true natives. Now, 2016, the truth is being told. It's time for the truth to come out. Now, around 1900, again, it was thought that Native Americans was actually on the brink of extinction with only about 250,000 left, which was a lie. How many of you knew that the United Nations actually recognizes the Washita Moors nation within the United States, along with other indigenous people of America? The Declaration of Rights of the Indigenous People include the Washita Nation, a nation that is actually made up of so-called black people who have the archaeological and historical evidence to prove that the original inhabitants of North and South America, are so-called Indians, were so-called black people who came here from Africa, and many didn't. Now, how many of you have actually ever been to a powwow? I have. I've been to one in Pennsylvania. I've been to one in Arizona. I've been to one in Oklahoma. And you would actually be astonished at all of the so-called black, the natives, that true Native Americans that you see at these powwows. Now, those Native Americans did not harbor any runaway slaves, which actually will clear the madness up about you believing that the black Indians are solely as a result of the African slave mixing with the so-called red Indians who were actually fleeing from slavery, as many of these Edomite documented sources would actually lead you to falsely believe. The black Indians are indigenous to America, North, South, and Central America, before the so-called red man that they refer to as Indians today, before the so-called white man, and before the so-called Bering Strait crossing. We were here. The Amaleks, the Washita, the Moors, the Yamasees, mound builders actually planted the seed of civilization in America. That's stated in the Black Indians, the book that I showed you earlier. So over 200,000 ancient pyramids and huge mounds, because we are the mound builders. The mounds on this side, the pyramids on this side, are older than the ones in what you refer to as Egypt, Mr. Sanetta, Mr. Shah Utmos. So over 200,000 ancient pyramids and huge mounds of the earth in the shapes of cones, in the shapes of animals, in the shapes of geometric designs can also still be found from the southern coast of America all the way up to Canada. Now, brothers and sisters, these structures was actually built by people known as mound builders. They were dark-skinned, woolly-haired, so-called black people who were actually indigenous, meaning native, to the North Gate, North Africa, meaning North America, and South West Africa, which is Amexem, which is America. And they were actually also kin to the Amaleks of South America. Fact. Now, during this Pangaea, the so-called African and American continent were actually joined. So This is why I'm telling you this is Northwest Africa, and over there Southwest Africa, a Mexican. So the so-called black mound builders were Wachita Moors. The original inhabitants of North and South America, Wachita Moors. Now, let me clear something up for you Moors, because this is why many of you get discombobulated. You always want to associate Moors to Islam. Let me hit you with something, man. Moors don't have a damn thing to do with religion. There was Moors who was Israelites or considered themselves Jews. There was Moors who was Christians. And there was Moors who followed Islam. When you say Moor, they was often referring to the one with the copper-colored skin. Or they referred to you as black or nigger or Negro. So Columbus was not entirely wrong in calling these people Indians. See, the true meaning of the word Indian, I know many of you don't understand, so let me break it down for you. Indi, meaning black, as in India, ink, Hindu, or indigo, the darkest color of the color spectrum, and the massive remains of these ancient black civilizations. Empire still stands in both North and South America. So the so-called black people are indigenous to America. Tell it from the mountains. The black Native Americans are not as a result of so-called red Indians mixing with slaves. That lie can be dispelled. The so-called red Indians comes from mixing with the European colonists and some Asians. Now, Stuart synopsis lists these black native tribes, the Wachita of Louisiana and the Midwest, the Yamasees of the Southeast, the Aricos, the Cherokee Indians, the Blackfoot Indians, the Pequots of Connecticut, the Black Californians, and California literally meaning black, after the name of the great Mama Cali Queen, Khalifa, the Amaleks of Mexico, and the Darantina of Panama. Now I want you to ask yourself, why is this information not taught in the classrooms? And why are the Native Americans portrayed as red and not as blacks when evidence shows otherwise? And I'm going to leave you with that question. You have been under the sounds of the voice of your brother, Kahan Tazadaq, the man that studies law, the historian, and a grieved man. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom Yasha Allah. I'm going to say, Kwam Yasha Allah. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. With that, I'm going to say peace, shalom to you all. Peace and blessings be upon you all. To all the indigenous people, know who you are. Know where you came from, or you'll never know where you're going. If you like the video, give the video a thumbs up. Take a few minutes and share the video. Shalom. Peace. Shout out to the Gadites out there. Shalom, Yasha Allah.